400, perfect for Nepal's short runways. Our 20-minute flight to Lukla will take us into the heart of the Himalayan mountains. Our guide, TAMANG, is not worried about our landing, but Pip's a little concerned. Lukla is often referred to as the most dangerous commercial airport in the world, and for good reason. Landing is towards a mountain face, and takeoffs are towards a cliff. Planes have only a 5-second allowance for error before things can go really wrong. From Lukla Airport, we have a 4-hour hike to Phakding and our first night's accommodation. The hiking path starts by going downhill.
They worship the dogs?
Yeah,
oh,
with garlands and garlands.
They put garlands on them?
And this is a special kind of flower for that.
Oh, the yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, look at them.
We worship crow,
dog,
cow, and brothers and sisters.
Oh, that's nice.
The Festival of Light, we call it.
Suspension bridges along the trek help traverse the valleys. There's just enough room to squeeze past the porters. The rocky path passes Buddhist mantras written in Tibetan script. In this part of Nepal, there are no roads. Goods are transported on 4 legs, here by jopkis, a yak-cow hybrid, and by people. These donkeys are carrying empty gas bottles back to Lukla. Horses are a good way of getting around.
Special kind of food for the festival of Diwali, Tihar. That okay?
At Phakding, our first night stopover is at the Royal Sherpa Hotel.
This is our first room on the Everest base camp track.
Yep.
And it's beautiful. The marigolds outside, you can watch the trekkers going past on the trek.
Yeah.
And we're just about to have lunch.
Lunch is served in a large hall. From the menu, we select momos. Pip's ready to explore the village. A big surprise is the number of bakeries on the trek.
First stop, and we're in Phakding, and we found our first little German bakery. And it's got apple pie, walnut pastry, chocolate croissant, lemon meringue pie, peanut cookies.
Shops sell soft drinks, chocolate bars and fresh fruit. Day 1 photos. A market garden and hothouses. 4-legged transport. One of many prayer wheels. And all are welcome. Day 2, and we start our hike to Namche. The track follows the river valley and then rises 800 metres to the village. The first of the 5 suspension bridges. This bakery makes breads and pastries, cakes, cookies, rolls and pâtés, muffins, donuts, pizzas and sandwiches. Another unexpected feature are the waterfalls. We're having morning tea at the Waterfall Hotel. Cheers.
Day 2.
Day 2. More bridges to cross.
Past 2 beautiful waterfalls.
Bridge number 2, on the way to Namche. Where is this cat trekking to? This field is being prepared for the next crop of potatoes. We spot some puzzling luggage being carried ahead of us. Pip finds a welcome sign at the Sagamartha Park entrance. It's still a 4-hour walk from the entrance to Namche. And there is that mystery luggage again. Waterfall number 3. Suspension bridge number 3. On the way to Namche, and lunch is not far away. We stopped for lunch at the Friendship Lodge and Restaurant in Jorsalei. I had Sherpa stew. Pip had dalbat. Bridge number 4. Track after bridge number 4. Going up the valley. This section of the track is flat and easy.
I have to go over 5 or 6 first.
So we've got to climb the steps over here.
Bridge number 5. Highest bridge yet. A view down the valley towards Lukla. These Nepalese mules, called kachads or kiangs, are carrying kerosene to fuel cooking stoves. We've reached the gate to Namche after climbing uphill 800 metres, and we're going to have dinner soon. Yay! Namche is a major trading village in a protected mountain bowl.
Our lodge is Sakura Lodge.
Sakura Lodge has comfortable rooms. Day 2 photos, waterfalls, trekkers at a rest stop, more flowers, and on top of the entrance gate is a representation of 2 deers listening to Buddha's first sermon. Day 3 is our rest day. We visit Everest View Hotel and Khumbu to adapt to the altitude. This is our acclimatisation climb up to Everest View Hotel. Pip and I both feel the effects of the extra 400 metres of height. At the start of our climb, we had views over Namche, waterfalls, a friendly dog, and helicopters. One of the many prayer wheels in Namche. This is Konderi, which you can see from Namche.
Okay, this mountain is called Thamserku.
Yeah.
And this one is called Kusum kangaroo.
Yes.
It's not Australian kangaroo, but Kusum kangaroo.
We see yaks grazing as we walk along.
I've made lots of tracks on the side of the hill.
So this is the prayer flag.
Yep.
You can see hanging on the passes and
Yeah.
mountains.
Yeah.
So it represents, we call it prayer flag. So it represents 5 elements.
Yeah.
So it starts from blue. Blue is sky. And then, what is another color?
White.
White, it's clouds.
Yes.
And fire on the red.
Yeah.
And green for the nature and water. And yellow for the earth.
Yeah.
So we believe that it brings peace and prosperity. That's from these prayer flags. And we can see the mantra written over here. And we believe that it will spread all over the world for the sentient beings to bring peace and prosperity.
We have a well-earned drink at the hotel. So we're having masala tea, a teapot, bit of value. Sunda's having some too?
Yeah.
Nuptse.
Yeah, if the clouds were clear, that'd be Mount Everest.
Going down the hill from Everest View Hotel.
And we're heading to the village of Khumbu. A bakery in Khumbu. That yak cheese croissant looks the go. And so does the coffee.
And I'm having a yak croissant.
Yep. And I'm having a chocolate brownie. Cross between a cow and a yak is called a jopki. There are no trucks here. Rocks are carried on foot. On our way back to Namche, it began to lightly snow.
The Hillary School in this village.
And we found out what the mystery luggage was for.
This is a survey run by the British Antarctic Survey of the glacial thickness up here in the Himalayan area. They're going to start running tomorrow. They've just assembled their antenna.
We wanted to locate the position where this 40-year-old photo of Namche was taken. And we found it. Back in Namche, it's time for dinner.
We've just had potato soup. Very nice.
And you're having
Chow mein and hot orange.
Yep. And I've just had mushroom soup. Now I'm having Sherpa stew and hot mango. Day 3 photos. A rest on our climb. Tomorrow we'll be in Thamserku. Coffee and cake. Khumbu's longest mani. Afternoon tea. And dinner. Day 4. Our hike to Tawache will take us 200 metres lower down to the river and then 600 metres higher up to the monastery.
Just out of Namche, this bit's quite level along the river valley. That's the valley we walked up, and down in the bottom of the valley just in front of the river is the ridge we climbed or crossed the river with. Top and bottom bridge, we used the top bridge. And then there's a climb up this hill up to Namche, which is behind that hill.
Donations for track improvements are gratefully received.
First view of Everest from this track. That's the peak behind that ridge line on the left. That's the stupa on the track with AMADABLAM behind it.
There goes the antenna for a test run along a glacier.
Here on the right hand side of the track is some of the stonework that's been built to make the track level and wide. Obviously a lot of work laying all those stones. And there's some nice autumn colours. Our lunch spot is down by the river and morning tea is over here. Kenjuma. What's that mean? Morning tea.
Morning tea today is at Kangjuma.
Okay, we got to little village.
It's called AMADABLAM Bakery and Cafe, and we're just about to have chocolate croissant
Yeah,
and tea.
got a lovely view in the background.
On the trail, we took a picture and we said Himalayan Griffin Vulture. It just looks like that. A wee fatty body and big wings.
Amazing, that's wonderful.
After morning tea, walking downhill to the river.
We arrive at a four-way junction.
Just come from Namche and had morning tea along that track. Yesterday we visited Khumbu village, which could be accessed along that track. That way goes to Kokyo Lakes, and down here is the way to Temperate,
Where we're having
where we're going to have lunch and where we're going to sleep the night. This is descending down to the river before Tungbuche.
Lunch is at Vangitanga. The bridge is busy, so we will have to wait our turn to cross.
Start of the trek up the hill. Tourist checkpoint. Spot.
Thank you, Cinder.
That's the monastery. Enroute
Oh
monastery.
wow, we're right next to it. That's fantastic.
The Khumbu or monastery is the largest in this part of Nepal. Tonight we'll be staying in the Hotel Himalayan.
We're right next to it.
It's our hotel for the night. And we get views of AMADABLAM and Mount Everest. View out of our window. And in the distance, that's Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the peak at the back of that ridge. This is the entrance to the monastery.
Using large conch shells, the monks issue a call to prayers. Meanwhile, Pip's found a bakery. However, we decide to have afternoon tea at the hotel.
AMADABLAM or Everest?
This monk appears to be heading home with supplies. The setting sun is lighting up Nuptse, Lhotse and Mount Everest. And the sky is gradually losing its colour. It's dinner time.
I'm having hot masala soup and bread and masala tea.
Yep. And I'm having macaroni, veg and egg and masala tea.
A recap of our journey today, adding our names to the donors book, the view at the stupa, AMADABLAM, autumn colours, morning tea, Billy and Jane from Scotland, four-way junction, down to the river, lunch, our guide Sunda, mountain views, Glacial Lake outburst flood warning. It's still 18 hours to Everest Base Camp. Tengbuche Gomba, the Hotel Himalayan, another bakery, sunset on Mount Everest, our room, and dinner. Day 5. From Tengbuche we passed through Pangbuche to Dingbuche, the last major village before base camp. Looking back down the valley, we can see Everest View Hotel, Kangjuma village where we had morning tea yesterday, and Khumbu where Hillary has built a school.
Today we're heading up the valley to Dingbuche, and Everest is still visible.
Another suspension bridge which will take us to Pangbuche for morning tea. Tengbuche is receding into the distance. Another stupa along the track.
Tengbuche.
We have morning tea at Everest View Lodge.
These are yaks coming. Some of the track up to Dingbuche.
The river is narrow enough here to be crossed on a steel bridge.
Dingbuche is in the distance, not far away. And we're well on the track towards it. Hiking down the hill to Dingbuche. We'll be in a lodge somewhere in that little village. The mountains behind us.
At Dingbuche, the locals are gambling. Our home tonight is the Mountain Paradise Lodge.
We're sitting just outside our room in Paradise Lodge in Dingbuche, which has a marvellous view of AMADABLAM,
Yeah,
which you can see in the background.
yeah. If we move apart, there
Yeah.
it is. AMADABLAM from this angle.
Yeah. So we've just been to the bakery and had a cinnamon scroll,
Yep,
and a cappuccino.
yep.
Live stuff.
What was that like?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Paradise Lodge.
Tea house.
And what have you got?
I've got fried egg chips.
I've got veggies and fried potatoes. So that's dinner tonight. So we're having a rest day tomorrow, but it won't be much rest.
It's called the climatisation.
Right. We're going up another 500 metres and coming back again.
Day 5 in photos. Tengbuche Gomba. The view fascinates this dog. Ah, that's what he sees. Downhill towards the river. Easy trekking. AMADABLAM draws nearer. Prayer flags. Fuel for the winter fires. Nearing Shamare for lunch. Billy and Jane. More autumn colour. Nearing Dingbuche. An old stone hut. Dingbuche. Pip's having seabuck thorn juice. Kettles on the stove. And dinner.
Well, today is day 6. It's acclimatisation day again, and we're travelling up the hill, up a hill, which is up there, to acclimatise. But tomorrow we head along that valley and around to the right. Yeah. And Dingbuche, we've just come up the hill from Dingbuche, which is down there behind us. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
On the background. You can see AMADABLAM on the background.
Ah, yeah, and AMADABLAM is,
Just there.
yeah, there's AMADABLAM. And we've gradually worked our way around it. So we've got a different view on it at the moment.
Dogs chasing goats. Not sure where the goats are.
That goat's on the cliff face.
Is it at the top there?
Yeah, on the right. Just below that big rock. You can see a goat there.
Oh, right. They're brown.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3. Oh, there's 4. And the dogs are gone. Can't see the dogs.
You're feeling okay apart
I'm
from
feeling great.
anything? I feel fine, but I
Great.
measured my oxygen and I was 75.
All right, well we haven't done that.
Yeah, I
haven't
got
done
a bit
that yet.
freaked out.
You're still above 70.
Yeah.
Quite a bit above
But
70.
I'm thinking when we got further, it's going to drop again.
Okay.
Action.
Okay.
Action.
Action.
Good day, Matt. I'm from Switzerland. I'm Heidi, and I stay now to the highest point of Switzerland, the Dufourspitze. This is 4,660 meters.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well done.
Up from Dingbuche this morning, acclimatisation. We've reached 4,800 metres and we're going back for a coffee soon. We've got AMADABLAM behind us.
That's base camp.
And base camp is visible behind us. It's got yellow tents and there's a lake next to them.
Today the locals are busking. Day 6 in photos. The start of our climb. Getting higher. Billy and Jane and our guides. Behind us, Tawache and Lhotse, AMADABLAM, and at 4,800 metres. Day 7 is the hike through LUKLA to Lhotse. Tomorrow we hope to reach Everest Base Camp.
The pyramid behind Island Peak is called Chipalu.
Our pace out of the village is slowed by the altitude. This card of altitude tips reminded us of the need to be alert to symptoms and be ready with remedies. The most important remedy is to go lower quickly.
On the way to Lhotse. Yeah. Everest Base Camp's around the corner and on a bit. Pariche is the village down there. We'll probably stay there on the way back.
Called Tawache.
Icy water and ice. That's how cold it got overnight.
It's Pariche. Old hut along the trail. And the Dublin in the background.
That is our launch place for today. This place is called Lukla, and then we will climb to Nuptse.
Up the hill. Landslide 2 years ago. And people are crossing on the rocks, heading along there, and then up to our lunch spot.
The flags.
They're the lunch buildings. What is left of the Iron Bridge? It's what is left of the Iron Bridge. Temporary bridge.
Okay, we're at Lukla, having lunch. The elevation is now 4620,
Yep, there it is there. 4620.
and Dale's having Sherpa stew
Yep.
again, and I'm
Sherpa
having
stew.
Swiss rosti with cheese and egg.
After lunch, the track climbs 200 metres in elevation and is actually summiting the end of the Khumbu glacier. Our pace has slowed at this elevation. In Nepalese, the word is bistari, or slowly, slowly. At the summit are dozens of monuments to Himalayan climbers who didn't make it back home.
It's a good stopping point on the way up. Flags fluttering in the breeze, and the mountains looming in the distance.
Oh, what a spot.
Yeah,
AMADABLAM over there,
yeah, Sunda's just taken our photo, which I'll show.
heading off to Labuche.
Yeah,
How long to Labuche, Sunda? 1 hour.
1
1
hour.
hour to Labuche.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
nice stopping point.
And Lhotse is that way. Heading off down to Lhotse, just on a bit of a ridge here. There's people over here heading to Chola Pass on the track on the left. It's the way to Lhotse and EBC, and this is the way to Zungla and Chola Pass. 3 minutes from our hotel. We finally arrived at Lhotse. This is Lhotse village. Few mountains in the background.
Tonight our home is the new EBC guest house. Day 7 in photos. Solar power for the camera. The village of Pariche. An old stone hut. Moss-covered rocks. Billy and Jane. The end of the Khumbu glacier. Striding to lunch. Ascending the glacier. high above Lukla. Some monuments to climbers. Pure rock. Gaining more height. Lhotse draws nearer. Pumori. We reach 5,000 metres. Lhotse. Our room. And the view from our room. Checking our solar powered batteries. And dinner. Day 8, and we hope to reach Khumbu and Everest Base Camp.
Day 8.
Yeah. Day 8 on the way to Everest Base Camp.
We're leaving Lhotse village. So they're behind us at about 7:45, and we're in amongst the throng of people trekking.
We're heading towards Khumbu.
Yeah.
And all is well.
And Sunda says all is well.
Trekkers would often ask if we were using Diamox to help avoid altitude sickness. We didn't take any.
Getting closer to base camp. Pumori in the distance on the left, and we need to climb that hill like those people.
Horses can be hired to make the trek quicker.
First sight of Khumbu Glacier.
And we can hear the occasional rock falling down a slope. The place is alive, scary.
The top end of the Khumbu Glacier. It's changing every year. And you can almost see it collapsing before your eyes. The fresh glacier is where it's collapsed, I think, to Khumbu, which is down in the valley, and KALAPATHAR is in the background. You can see the trek up to the top. Everest Base Camp is around to the right.
We've just climbed over hundreds of rocks along the path, and we're about to descend down to Khumbu, where we're going to have lunch.
And we heard these rumblings like
Yeah,
an avalanche.
yeah. We thought there might be an avalanche on one of the big mountains, but it went quiet.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let's go and have lunch.
Oh, good idea.
Walking down to our hotel, one of those buildings, Khumbu.
The elevation is 5,165 metres, and our lodge for the night is the Everest Inn. After lunch at the Everest Inn, we continue on to EBC.
Looking back towards Khumbu.
The air is very thin. We both had slight headaches at this altitude, and Pip had pain in the back of the head, slight nausea, and loss of appetite.
Bit of a rocky track up to EBC.
Avalanches are a hazard here, but fortunately we were not near this one.
Big avalanche.
We are on the right spot.
We are. That's dangerous. The track goes along the ridge, down into the valley, across to the ice. We're heading to the back of that ice over here. Good. Descent down the hill and then across the valley, and we're there. It's getting closer. Not far now. We're now walking on the edge of the glacier. Yeah. It's the ice. It's Phillipa arriving at EBC. Hooray! Yeah.
Everest Base Camp is at an altitude of 5,364 metres and the air is around half the pressure at sea level.
Well, what have we done?
We've made it. We've made it to Everest Base Camp.
Yeah.
In a hard slog.
It's a very rocky track, but this is where it is, on the edge of this glacier. I'll just pan around a bit. The glacier goes right round behind us, and we're standing on ice. We're actually standing on the glacier. There's ice under our feet. I'll show that.
Thanks.
That's the ice we're standing on. Yeah, strong. It's a good idea. Yeah, very strong.
Base camp, we've got rocks balancing on blocks of ice.
Okay, so we all made it to Everest Base Camp. Hooray! And we're on a glacier, which is called
Khumbu Glacier.
Yep. And took us about 2 hours to get here from
Gorakhshe.
Gorakhshe. And what else?
We're going back to Gorakhshe.
Yeah, we're going to have dinner.
Over there is where the tents are set up. When
That's right.
expeditions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over there. We're in April, May.
Further back behind us.
Yeah. And it's very, very cold.
Yeah.
It's freezing cold.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. Everest Base Camp.
Live from Everest Base
Yeah,
Camp.
that's right.
I can't
Yeah, we're
believe it.
live from
We
Everest
made
Base
it.
Camp. Well, that's the record of it.
Yeah.
And that's what's here. Lots of rocks on the glacier.
Day 8 photos. Easy trekking. Piles of rocks. The Khumbu Glacier. Gorakhshe. Our first view of EBC. No one at the ticket office. Tonight we will sleep at 5,165 metres. EBC draws nearer. EBC is only minutes away. An ice pillar. We made it. Ice pinnacles on the glacier. The iconic photo. More rock. One last photo. Everest Inn dining room. 4 friends art. And dinner. Day 9, our 6-day return trip to Lukla will be via a slightly different route with overnight stops at Pariche, Pangbuche, Lhotse, Namche and Monjo. Trekking is slow at 5,200 metres. And we had a light dusting of snow overnight. Dogs often follow the trekkers, and on the way we stop for morning tea at the world's highest bakery cafe. Our trek down to Pariche is a relatively easy day's walk.
Not all rocky path. miles above LUKLA. Getting down the track to Tawache along the river flats. And there's very cold wind.
Walking into Tawache.
And that's our house for tonight.
Day 9 in photos. Pumori is on the Tibetan border. A clear morning for our trek. A light dusting of snow overnight. Lhotse for our morning drink. At the world's highest bakery cafe. It's at 5,000 metres. A stone house at Lhotse. Monuments to climbers. A temporary bridge. Early sunset in the valley. AMADABLAM. Valley clouds. And dinner. Day 10, Tawache to Pangboche. A sunny morning. Tenzi is preparing to carry our overnight packs.
So ice on the ground, just leaving Tawache. That's the valley. Hillary went up. Next, carrying kerosene and gas and food.
More goods going up the track. At Pangboche we notice a little animal.
Whoa, there it is.
We spot a Nepalese weasel, or marten, amongst these rocks.
Got a good shot of him then.
Little boy was laughing.
Yeah, there he goes.
You see him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, he checked the camera.
This is our lodge for the night, day 10.
So we've got nice decorations, we've got a heater in the middle of the room.
This is the view out of our lodge room, room 103. And in the distance, there's Mount Everest. There's some cloud flying off it.
Horses outside the bakery in Pangboche.
They call it something rabbit. Yeah. But to me it doesn't look like a rabbit.
Day 11, we will trek past the Pangboche Monastery and along a narrow track to Lhotse. The monastery is the oldest in the Khumbu region. Birds are able to fly at these low altitudes. Everest, Nuptse and Lhotse are slowly disappearing from view. Along the path we pass wild goats. Sundar and Tenzi posing on the rocks.
Lhotse.
Our lodge for the night is the Lhotse guest house and room number A5. Day 12, our trek to Namche will take us downhill to cross a river, up to Mong for lunch, and down an easy path past Kangjuma.
Walking down amongst the Santa trees.
Santa trees!
Yeah. There's our bridge across the river.
Morning tea is at Lhotse Tanga. This is where the track splits off to Dole and the Gokyo Lakes. We start our 300 metre climb to Mong.
Go Tengbuche on the ridge. That's where we stayed last night. That was our accommodation last night. And the museum's behind it with a red roof.
After climbing the hill, we reach Mong and have lunch. That's our path to Namche.
View of Mong, AMADABLAM,
All the crows.
Khumbu village.
We pass a wild Nepalese pheasant.
On the way back to Namche. The stupa on the corner over there. Good track.
Okay, we're in Namche Bazaar. Having finished our trek to Everest Base Camp. And I'm now having some Sherpa potato pancakes called Rigi Kur.
And I'm having scrambled eggs on toast with honey.
And butter. We haven't seen butter for
Yeah.
days.
Butter we haven't seen for, what, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
And we've got nice coffee there as well.
We're just relaxing in Cafe 8848.
Yep,
Which is the height of Everest.
that's it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Like the mirror. I like the mirror.
After an overnight stop at the Sakura Lodge in Namche, we head downhill to Monjo. Many people earn a living transporting goods up to the villages higher up the track. Two horses waiting for a ride. And more kerosene. More food. And remember that field?
Field's finished. On the way up, they were working on it.
After our stopover in Monjo at the Top Hill Lodge, we're off to Lukla. And here is a quick glimpse of what we passed along the track. How a concrete bridge is built, Nepalese style.
Going down past the quaint Irish bar.
Photos from days 10 to 14. The track to Pangboche. Wildflowers. Yakset Shamari. Our bakery at Pangboche. The Pangboche Monastery. A very old house. A wild goat. Going up to Mong. Another day at the office. How's this? Our dining room at Monjo. Autumn colours. Mum's gone to lunch. One-way traffic. And souvenirs. At Lukla, planes take off downhill. After our overnight stop, we were waitlisted for our flight to Ramanchup. 20 minutes later, we land at Namche. Our bus trip back to Kathmandu takes about 5 hours. We have a spare day in Kathmandu and stay at the Norbalinka Hotel before heading home.